When you finish your project plan, you can save it in Project in a baseline. Those are the target values you aim to achieve when you execute your plan. As you work on your plan and project, you see the current plan, which is your schedule and cost based on changes you make to the plan, along with the effects of actual performance. Project uses baseline values and current values to calculate the variances and other performance measures. By comparing your current scheduled values to the baseline, you can see whether the project is on time and within budget. When you get the project plan the way you, the project customer, and the management team want it, you save that plan. In Project, you save a baseline, which is a set of dates, task durations, work hours, cost, and other fields that you try to meet when you execute the project. The Gantt chart view shown here doesn't show the baseline initially. One view that does show your baseline is the Tracking Gantt. On the Task tab, click the View down arrow and then choose Tracking Gantt. If necessary, you can click Scroll to Task to see the taskbars in the timescale. The Tracking Gantt has two taskbars for each task. The top taskbars, blue here, show your current project schedule. The bottom taskbars, gray, are your baseline schedule. Another helpful view for looking at different values is the Task Details form. On the View tab, make sure that the Details checkbox is turned on, and then click the down arrow. Choose More Views, and then in the More Views dialog box, double-click Task Details form. You can see that there are options for current, baseline, and actual, so you'll be able to look at all those values. These two views together can help you get a handle on the difference between baseline, scheduled, and actual values. Let's look at the Identify Requirements task. In the Task Details form, select the Baseline option. The Start and Finish boxes display the baseline start and finish dates for the task, November 1st and November 26th. And if you look at the gray taskbar in the timescale, you can see that that's when it occurs. When you first save a baseline, the baseline and current values are the same. But then, as you work on your project, the current values will usually change. When you enter actuals, Project recalculates the task date's duration, work, and costs. The current values can also change whenever you edit your plan. In this case, the blue bar shows the current dates and duration for the task. You can see that it starts on the same date as the baseline, but it actually isn't as long. That means the task finished early. You can also see the current values by selecting the Current option in the Task Details form. And you can see here that the start date was the same, November 1st, but the finish date did come in earlier, November 23rd. This task is complete, so it also has actual values. If you select the Actual option in the Task Details form, then the actual values for the task appear. And you can see that because the task is complete, the current and the actual values are the same. When tasks are in progress, the baseline, current, and actual values may all be different. Let's look at the Identify Cost task, and we'll look at the baseline. The baseline start is January 20th, and the baseline finish is March 11th. The duration is 20 days. If we now look at the current values, you can see that it starts on January 6th and finishes on February 25th. The duration is still 20 days. On the other hand, if you select the Actual option, there's no finish date because the task is in progress. It hasn't finished yet. One way to see baseline fields is to display the baseline table. First, let me click this cell to deselect the task. Then, on the View tab, click Tables and choose More Tables. In the More Tables dialog box, double-click Baseline to apply the table to the view. I'm not sure what this invalid duration is, but I'm going to click OK to dismiss the message and move on with work. In the Baseline table, you can see baseline duration are your target durations for your tasks. The start and finish are your target dates. The work is the amount of work that you've estimated for your tasks, and the cost is what they will cost if you do all of that work. When you first save a baseline, your original plan and your current values are the same. Then as you record actual values, your current values can change. Project keeps track of your original plan in the baseline, but it also keeps track of actual progress your team is making. The difference between your baseline and the current plan is called variance, and it tells you whether tasks are ahead of or behind schedule, and whether costs are within or exceeding budget.